Hey, good morning, everybody. Just a quick little word here to share with you what happened to me this morning at church. I was running a little bit late. Penny's at work, and I have Clark here with me, and we went to Bible study this morning. And I almost didn't go because of certain inconveniences that I was going through this morning, but I pressed forward, went to Bible study this morning, Sunday morning school, dropped off Clark in the nursery, and I went to the men's group and walked in there. It was a bunch of older gentlemen conducting a Bible study. I felt a little bit awkward, but I got there, sat down, and just kind of fit in with the discussion. The facilitator began to announce the purpose of the class and, asked me to introduce myself. And I immediately began to talk about, how I'm Ruben. I've been coming to this church for a while now, me and my wife. Anyway, let me fast forward and get to what I'm wanting to share with you guys here this morning. As the discussion was going on, a question was presented to the group of men that I was with this morning regarding miraculous power. Like, how do we define miraculous power, and what miraculous power have we seen in our lives personally? And I immediately began to talk about the power of God's word in my life and how it transformed me while I was in prison. And the minute I talked about me being locked up for 18 years, everyone in the room, you can visibly see them, like, they did this number and kind of looked at me a little bit strange. But I noticed someone in the far corner, another bald gentleman with glasses, a little bit of a goatee, kind of grayed out, peppered and whatnot. He was quiet and shy. Anyway, me presenting myself and what God has done in my life, His miraculous work while I was locked up, through His word and the ministry and the callings and the giftings and whatnot, was mentioned for a reason. Because after the class, a couple of men came up to me and they're like, "Hey, man, you were locked up before?" "Yeah. God did this in my life, yada, yada, yada." And they're like, "Hey, you see that guy sitting over there in the corner? We're in the chapel area at this time already, before church starts, the main service for the morning." And the guy that we're pointing out was the same guy in the room who was quiet. Bald guy, glasses, a peppered goatee. And his name is Raymond. The guy was locked up. He did 24 years. I didn't know this till I went up to him. And when I began to share, "Hey, man, we were in class this morning. My name's Ruben. I think you heard me share my testimony with the men." He goes, "Yeah, man, I was locked up 24 years. I've been out for a year." He showed me this big old GPS monitor that he's got on him. And I was really encouraged because as I began to talk to him in the chapel area, he also kind of lightened up and felt encouraged and didn't feel alone anymore in that free world church. Big church with a bunch of non-criminals, people who've never broken the law or at least never got caught. And it was an encouragement to him to know that somebody else was attending that church who has been locked up and is out here doing good. And here's why I'm sharing this video with you people this morning. Man, if you have a testimony, don't be afraid to share it. Whether you went through a divorce, you lost a job, you lost a loved one to death, you've been incarcerated, God got you out of that. Man, I want to encourage you this morning. You need to share that, because you never know who's in your surroundings, whether it's in a group circle or in church, at work, wherever it is. Because even at work, I've shared my testimony. I'm not ashamed of the gospel. I'm not ashamed of what God did in my life while I was incarcerated. Yeah, granted, I'm not proud of what I did to get locked up. Those things are very shameful. But I'm telling you, God takes those treasures that we think are trash and turns them into a testimony. And so I want to encourage everyone out here this Sunday morning, whatever you've been through, share it. Don't be afraid to talk about the good things that God has done in your life, in spite of the bad that you did, that the devil did, and wrecked your life. Because you never know who's around you. You never know who's going to hear that testimony coming out of your life. Because in hearing that, they might be encouraged and it would make their day. So thank you again. God bless you guys. Hope you're having a wonderful one today in church. We love you here at my home, our ministry. Blessings to all of you. And remember, don't be ashamed of your testimony. And don't be ashamed of the gospel of Jesus Christ. Because you can change somebody's life with your testimony. God bless you.